I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about this, so here we go. Shalom and welcome to Clothesline Wrestling Channel. I'm Oren and I'm proud and happy to bring you our very first edition of the Wednesday Night War Review. Like various other wrestling channels, we have our own version, our own rendition of the Wednesday Night War Review, and for us, here's how it goes. I'm going to talk about 5 major points that happened on AEW Dynamite and 5 major points that happened on NXT, and then I will decide which was the overall better show. And let's start things off with NXT. Rhea Ripley versus Robert Stone and Aaliyah. Personally, I liked the match. I thought it was a good match, it was a funny match, but I wasn't sold on the outcome because I wanted to see Ripley join the Robert Stone brand. I really think there's a good story to tell with Ripley joining the Robert Stone brand and with Robert Stone badgering her and irritating her and she gets all mad and start winning matches and beating up opponents. I think it's a good story to tell. Too bad it didn't happen tonight. Maybe it's going to happen later down the road, but for this matchup, it was a good match, but I wasn't sold on the outcome. Only Lorcan versus Timothy Thatcher. Seriously, how good was this matchup? This match was tremendous. Pure wrestling match with submissions and wrestling holds and wrestling moves. It was just a perfect wrestling match. The only thing, I wanted it to last even longer. I wanted those guys to go an extra 10 minutes. Seriously, I was enjoying myself. Thatcher with the win here. I think it's a very good decision. But I'm dying to see a rematch between these two. This match was phenomenal. The Keithley versus Adam Cole hype package. You know, say what you will about WWE, but one thing they do good, one thing they do almost better than anyone else, is a hype package. Seriously, look at that hype package. I'm already excited about the match for next week between Keithley and Adam Cole. It told the perfect story, even though it was like 2 seconds long. Good story, showing the amazing accomplishments of Keithley thus far, showed the tremendous reign of Adam Cole as the reigning champion for over a year, and I just want to see these two fight it out next week, and this hype package did a tremendous job of building us towards that matchup. Dexter Loomis versus Roderick Strong. I don't know about you, but I like the match. I think the gimmick worked well with the strap, with the fact that Roderick Strong trying to escape Dexter Loomis at every opportunity he can, and failing at every opportunity he had, and basically Dexter Loomis dominating over Roderick Strong, but Roddy once again trying to take the early advantage with a blindside attack, and with the help of Bobby Fish, trying to do everything that he can in his power to finally vanquish his foe, Dexter Loomis, but for no avail. Loomis wins this matchup. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match. The gimmick worked well with the strap, and the finale with the choke out by Dexter Loomis. He wins this. I wonder what's going to happen next with Dexter Loomis. Maybe a feud against Karrion Kross? I'll buy a ticket for that. The main event. I gotta say, tonight was a very great night for women's wrestling all around. I'm going to talk about that match in AEW later on, but I gotta say, the Fatal 4-Way Elimination match, with little minor botches here and there and little miscues, but the match was overall very, very good. And also, the main event for tonight, Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks. My only trouble with the matchup that it wasn't for the NXT Women's Championship, because Sasha wants to be Sasha 2 belts or whatever, so why not challenge Io Shirai as well? But still, even though it was a non-title matchup, the match worked perfectly for me. I enjoyed every bit of it, and of course the ending came with the appearance of Asuka spraying that mist into Sasha's face, taking out Bayley, destroying that advantage of Sasha's, and then Io Shirai wins with that moonsault off the top rope. Great matchup overall. I really enjoyed it, and I really think it was a very good solid main event for the first night of the NXT Great American Bash. That was the NXT portion of things. Let's talk about AEW. The AEW Women's Championship match. One great match on NXT to another on AEW Fyter Fest. Seriously, this match was very, very good. An awesome matchup by both women overall. Penelope Ford escaping not one but 2 Falcon Arrows, and the second one being a reversal that almost lands her the 3 count. I was stunned right there and then, but in the end, Hikaru Shida was able to retain the championship, and I think it's a good call overall. She needs to establish her reign as AEW Women's Champion. And Penelope Ford, I'm predicting this. She will be Women's Champion someday, pretty soon enough. Overall, great matchup. The TNT Championship match. I gotta say, I wasn't pleased with Cody being the first TNT champion, but he's a hell of a champion, I gotta give him that. He has good matches. He's actually showcasing some of the younger talent that the AEW roster has. And tonight was no different. His match with Jack Hager was very good. It told a profound story, and the ending came out of nowhere. Jack Hager applied his submission hold onto Cody, but he was able to reverse it and pin Jack Hager's shoulders to the ground, pinning him for the freak out, and he retained his championship. Hager, of course, wasn't pleased because he was sure that Cody was tapping out the minute he applied his finishing hold, but hey, his shoulder was pinned to the mat. Classic WrestleMania 8 Roddy Piper Bret Hart finish. Classic. And of course, Jack Hager was upset. He hit a referee and now he's suspended for 10 days. Good going, Jack. Yeah, good matchup overall, and I'm kind of waiting to see who will be the next challenger for Cody's TNT Championship. The AEW Tag Team Division. Yeah, could someone explain to me what is going on in the Tag Team Division? I mean, seriously, you got teams like the Lucha Bros, the Dark Order, Private Party, Jurassic Express, SCU, the Young Bucks, FTR, the Butcher and the Blade, and yet your tag team champions is a random tag team of singles competitors? And besides that, just look at the rankings. Look at the rankings and tell me exactly how do Private Party, who are ranked at 5th, get a championship match next week, even though Jurassic Express has a better ranking than they do, and they're not even on the board. What is going on? Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. AEW has a lot of talented wrestlers and a lot of talented stars, but you gotta admit, without a shadow of a doubt, their biggest attraction, their main attraction is Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has a business sense and he wants to elevate the younger talent like he did with Jungle Boy a while back. And his next project is Orange Cassidy. Yeah, is the feud good? Yes. Is the story good? Yes. But is it good enough to be the main story on the show? I'm sorry, but it's not. It's a good mid-card feud, but AEW is showing me that they want to push it as one of their main feuds on the show. And it's not. Even the rating says so. When the show ended last week with the biggest brawl between Cassidy and Jericho, it was the least watched segment in the history of AEW. I'm not saying it's a bad feud. It's a good feud. It's a good story. But you're trying to sell me to the point that this is supposed to be a main attraction feud. And it's not. With all due respect to Jericho, the Jericho magic doesn't work here. It works as a mid-card feud. And I'm pretty afraid, you might say, that next week this match will be the main event. And if it does, I don't think it's going to do well in the ratings. The main event. So the main event for night 1 at Fyter Fest brought us Kenny Omega and Adam Page defending the Tag Team Championships against Best Friends. By the way, kudos to Best Friends for giving us one hell of an entrance with Trent's mom driving them into the arena. Funny. Anyway, good match, solid match, predictable win, I gotta say. And that wasn't even the main vocal point of this matchup. No, because the main point of this matchup was afterwards when FTR came into the ring, offered beers to Page and Omega, which Page immediately accepted, and Omega didn't because he doesn't drink alcohol. So he poured down the beer, they began to scuffle, all 4 of them, with the Young Bucks trying to separate the 4 of them, and that's the ending of the show. Oh yeah, good matchup for the main event, but if the main story is still not the Tag Team Champions, and not the scuffle and the rips they have between them, and the main story is FTR versus the Young Bucks, how come we didn't get FTR versus the Young Bucks? So yeah, we're getting FTR versus the Young Bucks next week in an 8-man tag who wants to a little bit more embellish their rivalry and their story as they're heading to a tag team encounter later on down the road. But still, it feels like a hit or miss. So which show delivered? Which show was the better overall show this week? In my opinion, it was NXT. But not by a long margin. Still, both shows were very good, but overall I think NXT had a very solid card. As opposed to AEW's Fyter Fest. Still, great comeback by AEW, they actually managed to bring back more viewers this week as opposed to last week. More than 100,000 viewers, I believe. But still, it felt like NXT had a more solid card as opposed to the card that was shown tonight on Fyter Fest Night 1. And look at that. They've been promoting Fyter Fest for the past couple of weeks now. NXT saw the Fyter Fest card, and in a second they said, okay, let's bring back the Great American Bash. And it worked. It freaking worked. And even in the ratings and overall in the feeling of the show, that is just my opinion. Overall, both shows were good, but tonight NXT was a little bit better. And that is our review, and I think it went pretty good. What you think? We would love to hear your opinions on the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree with our opinions? We would love to hear about it. Also, just letting you know, we'll be adding more content to the channel pretty soon. We're talking Raw reviews, SmackDown reviews, continuing with the Wednesday Night War, and also a news bulletin every weekend, as for the beginning at least. Also, another heads up, this will be probably one of the only channels on YouTube that will be mostly English content, but also a little bit of Hebrew content. Just like giving you the heads up. So, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. And if you do like this video and you like this channel, hit a like and subscribe, and we'll be happy to see you again soon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.